Hello, beautiful family. Welcome to yet another episode of Yolking Around with the Eggboys. As you guys can see, we are keeping our 6 feet. Not really.
Close.
We're sacrificing our lives in order for you guys to get this show because we know you're fucking bored at home. So this will be another excuse for you to spend 30, 45 minutes of your life watching us and listen to the stupid comments and insightful things that we have for you guys today. With me, I have Chandler to my left. Your guys is right.
We got a good show tonight.
We got some good shit. Some good shit. So
I'm
if
pumped.
this is episode 16. For those of you guys that have never seen us, welcome. We're just about a group of guys having fun, talking about whatever comes to our head, important topics, and we like to discuss about it and give our 2 cents, our crippling 2 cents to the public about it.
More like a penny.
If that. Have you seen that people send checks for like not even a penny, like below a penny, whatever? Like banks will send checks like that.
I think ink you used to print that check it costs more than that freaking paper, and it's just
everything. Yeah,
it's just pointless.
Do you guys know anyone that still writes checks at
the
grocery store?
Yeah. Every boomer writes checks at the. You see a lot of boomers and a lot of people that are older, elderly, writing checks at the supermarket. I've seen that, and then not a lot of people take them anymore either.
Not too many places, but I like the ones, the people that are really prepared and they like already sign it and date it.
Yeah.
You know, order to wherever, Walmart or City Market, and all they have to do is fill in the numbers and write it out. I'm like, respect,
because it takes. We know Grant is gonna take 3. Like if that check is not ready, it's gonna take at least 30 to 40 minutes to get that fucking transaction going.
It's kind of like having your credit card ready in a way.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
respect.
In a paper form. And the beautiful boys behind that you guys heard, it's Deegan. He's also joining us in this episode. Yeah. The one with the suave voice. We tell him he should work for the radio because he has the voice of 1,000 thunders. But with that being said, guys, let's get to it. As you guys may know, Netflix released a new docuseries called Tiger King. If you guys haven't seen the memes bombarding the net, the Facebook and Twitter and all that, Tiger King has become very popular lately.
It's become very epidemic, you could consider.
Yeah. Hashtag epidemic joke. Hashtag epidemic joke. It's been spreading. It's been spreading all over Facebook, and everybody has been able to see it. Have you watched it, Chan? The Tiger King docuseries?
I did. I binge watched it in about 2 sittings.
2 sittings?
Yeah.
You're just like me, man. Once I start watching, if it's good enough, like I won't stop.
Yeah, I was doing a puzzle.
Doing a fucking puzzle and fucking listening to Tiger King.
And then I stopped because it got really intense. At first I was like, this is cute, all the tigers. And then slowly the whole, hired a murder plot comes unfold, and you get to hear about all the characters. Yeah.
Which every character, it's like a fucking, it's crazy because sometimes reality seems to exceed fiction in a way, because I was just baffled of how many tigers there is in the U.S.
Yeah, the thing that hit me the most was there's more captive than there are in the wild, and I think that should be reversed.
Yeah. It's crazy. These guys are breeding them like they're breeding, I don't know, cows.
I mean, they're like 3,000 to 5,000 a piece.
Yeah, I mean, the only time you actually really got to see them was when, Mike Tyson, took his little cat for a walk. Or, the big drug lords, over in Mexico, you just see them like those exotic animals. Yeah. They just got to have them exotic animals. That's the only times you actually got to see people actually handling cats like that.
Yeah, I know, like I've seen that culture over in Saudi Arabia. Like a lot of people that have a lot of money, obviously, have tigers and exotic animals. But what I found interesting, now that you brought up the exotic part of it, is that there's sort of a fetish for exotic animals. Like it starts becoming sort of like a fetish, something that I wouldn't necessarily want to say sexual in a sexual way. It's more of a, I want an exotic animal because it gives you like a different sort of rush. It's almost like a drug having exotic animals for these people at least.
And just the fact, I think, that these animals could easily kill you if they wanted to, and it's kind of like you're constantly living like at a high alertness, so you're always ready if you're working with those animals.
It's just that fine line that gets drawn, and whether who breaks it first is really up to, I mean, both of you, honestly.
I think they start. I think what starts happening is that you start becoming sort of addicted to the adrenaline rush that you're always feeling. But from what I saw on this show, like they seem to be very comfortable around it at the end of the day. Like
they do. I mean, they're playing with them, and they just seem like they're normal pets. Where I'm just like, I would never go in there.
Yeah, and there is a graphic incident in the show where
he does get his foot, right?
His foot, and then another person gets, which is how the show starts. It's one of the persons that works for them gets her
the arm
bitten
Spoiler
off of
alert.
her. Yeah. Well, it's at the beginning of the show, like, and then they explain it. Explain how it happened in the whole ordeal. There's a couple characters that are here. One of them is Carol fucking Baskin. Carol fucking Baskin.
The Florida lady. Yep.
The Florida lady. Basically fighting this. What would I call it? This interesting character called Joe Exotic.
Yep, he's probably the protagonist.
Yeah, the protagonist. Well, I feel like they're all antagonists in my perspective because Carol Baskin, they want to dress her up, but okay. So, Joe Exotic is the main. I would say the main character in this whole ordeal, because the story revolves around it, and then there's a lot of branches that sort of expand off of him, right?
Definitely.
That's when Carol Baskin comes in, and then the inspiration of Doc Antle on him, right? Which
Mr. Doc.
Mr. Doc Antle, the
Doctor
weird
of mystical science.
That guy's fucking weird, man. That guy's a fucking weird fuck. That's what he is.
Yeah. What do you think about his wives, plural?
So a little background story. This guy was like the Steve. It was Steve Irwin, the guy that
the crocodile hunter.
Yeah, the crocodile of Florida in a way, and he would go to shows and whatnot and present these exotic animals and sort of that was his thing.
Entertainment.
And so he opened up a sort of a. Is it a park? Was it a park or a zoo? Like a zoo/park thing?
Yeah, they call them wildlife sanctuaries, but they're private zoos,
essentially. They're like private zoos owned by these people. And the weird thing about Doc Antle is that he had a whole bunch of wives.
3 that I can remember.
Yeah, and also he started getting weird with it because he started, in my words, in my perspective, I think he started sort of creating sort of a sect. Sort of like this, I don't want to say like, in I guess a doctrine of tiger praising and tiger living with these girls, because basically what he ended up doing is hiring girls that they had to be virgins.
They were usually, right, he said teenagers.
Like
16.
Which is an age where a lot of people can be confused and just be easily drawn to people like Doc Antle. Sorry. So yeah, he would get these young girls to come to his sort of these exotic zoo plays, and he would hire them, and he would pay them little to no money as well.
Working every day, 7 days a week.
And he would, a lot of the times he would have sex with them, and I mean it got crazy, and they were devoted.
They seemed all okay with it, but it did seem almost like a cult.
Very sect-like, very cult-like, and I think he even says it like that, like he knows what he was doing. So that part was one of the things that really stood out to me, the whole ordeal with Doc Antle, even though the story is not about him really. But interesting guy for sure. Interesting
Definitely.
guy. And then we have the main character, which we were talking about, which is Joe Exotic. Joe Exotic, man, I don't even know how to describe this character. Like, he was so many things. Florida, typical redneck, I want to say. It just basically loved
his zoo
tigers.
His zoo was in Oklahoma, I believe.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
But a redneck nonetheless.
A redneck, yeah. Oklahoma redneck.
Had multiple husbands at one point.
Yes.
But
I love the quote that he says. He's like, "I'm gayer than a $3 bill." Like, that quote stuck. I feel like people are gonna be quoting this fucking show for a while.
They're making fun of him.
And then I wanted to bring up something because I didn't know the regulations for pets, exotic pets was so lenient in a lot of the states. It's kind of crazy to think about. Like, people are just okay with having a fucking tiger in the back of their yard.
Yeah, and the documentary did touch upon a bill that they were trying to pass. I can't remember what it was called, but it would basically eliminate, the sale of tigers specifically. And that definitely would have taken a toll on all these characters in the show.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, the bill has not been passed. I think it's still being discussed.
In legislation or some shit.
Yep.
But that's what I thought. I thought it was just crazy how everybody was just so lenient about, like, having a fucking tiger reservoir in the middle of Oklahoma, or where was the other one, the Carol Baskin one? Because she was in Florida, right? She was the one in Florida.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Like, fuck.
Yeah. I know. I mean, PETA is definitely against it, right?
Yeah.
The organization.
And Joe Exotic was definitely against PETA as well. And
oh man, yeah, they had some.
And Carol Baskin and Joe Exotic are basically arch enemies. That's what the story starts unfolding, right?
Yeah,
like,
and in a way, he kind of feeded off of her to gain some more fame, right? He'd make these videos, and she was very popular.
On YouTube, yes.
Yeah, and she has her own videos. Very, sweet voice, has lots of views. They said she was the first Google search, and all these people seemed to be like a feud between them. They wanted to be like the best.
Yeah, because basically what it came down to is anytime what Carol did is because she was so ahead of the bar, so ahead of the game, being involved in social media and whatnot, what started happening is that whenever you Googled anything exotic and tigers, at least here in the U.S., she was the first thing that popped up on Google.
Yeah.
And they explain how that's so useful and so prolific in a way to be the first thing you that pops up on Google. And then Joe went ahead and tried to scheme and basically infringe and compromise her copyrights. Creating logos.
They get into that.
Yeah, to creating logos and creating sort of even titles that were very similar to what Carol had in order for him to pop up as the first person. And what these persons end up doing is all of them, they're just trying to be showmen. Like, they were all showmen at the end of the day. They were just trying to give a show and get some money out of it. But the feud started growing, and it started getting really fucked up towards the end there.
Yeah, you'll have to watch it,
viewers. If you guys haven't watched it, it's a nice watch. I mean, it'll kill a couple brain cells, but who the fuck cares? I guess, a lot of meth, a lot of redneckery, and a lot of anger, and of course, it's all Carol fucking Baskin. It's fault. But we want to move on and sort of let you guys digest Tiger King by your own. Yeah. Let us know what you think about it if you guys watch it.
Drop a comment.
Chandler asked me a question today due to the whole pandemic event that we're going through. He asked me if I thought that online dating has sort of peaked up once more due to the whole pandemic and people being lonely. And my answer, I honestly think that it has. I honestly think that online dating has sort of risen a little bit just because of people feeling lonely and being by themselves at the house.
I'd be curious to see some statistics about it.
Well, what's crazy too is that, I mean, a lot of the people aren't necessarily using online dating apps, you know, because you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Snapchat. Like, even though we don't consider this dating apps, for a lot of people, they work exactly as that. Just as fucking
a way to message and call.
Message, called, exchange nudes and whatnot.
They just use the dating app itself to, you know, first engage the first conversation, and from there they transfer over to whatever the social media they prefer. You know, it's just the first step in the door, you know.
I mean, in a way, it's kind of getting out the awkwardness of like, oh, is this person looking for someone? It's like, okay, if you're on a dating site, you're looking for someone.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like a little cut through.
I think to answer your question, I think it has. It has to. You know, there's a lot of loner souls out there. You know that
Well, yeah. With that, if it has increased, I imagine there's some challenges during this time of the CV.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I hope that people, rather than hooking up with randos during this whole thing that we have going on right now, they shouldn't be, like, if you're out there fucking, you shouldn't be fucking. Like, I'm just gonna come out and say, like, you technically shouldn't, especially with a stranger that you don't know. Like, imagine getting the virus. The virus, by the way, we can't say the name of the virus because YouTube is actually demonetizing people because they're using the name.
They're censoring.
They're trying to limit that. So if we talk about the viruses, we're talking about the pandemic
CV
virus,
baby,
the good old CV. But yeah, like, if you're out there just going out and being a man whore or a she whore or whatever, don't, like, you're putting people at risk because you're trying to be horny. Like, that's just not a safe thing to do right now.
I also just think it would be really interesting like, say you're interested in someone. I mean, you can do video calls, right?
Correct.
But that's a lot of times what long distance relationships do. So starting that off the bat would be so unique in my mind. Like, I've never met you in person, but we're gonna video call.
You know what I'm guessing? Like, once this whole epidemic is over, once you can mingle and go out,
yeah,
I wonder if there's gonna be a shortage of condoms. Just saying.
A shortage of Deegan, you don't have to worry about that, bro.
I'm just saying, fair warning, Trojan, whatever companies they're freaking making, just
better start
stock
loading
up.
up.
Yes, get that burst ready to go.
You guys think toilet paper is important? Fucking get condoms.
That's a bold prediction, Deegan.
That's a bold prediction. That we could see an increase on that. Yes.
Well, we got it right here.
So for you stockholders, just saying, invest now.
Invest in Trojan.
Deegan said it first.
But or people don't even use condoms anymore. It feels like
it's all
we're gonna die
freaking.
anyway. No.
Yeah.
Come on,
magic
guys.
pill
Be smart. Use a condom.
Use
please.
a condom.
It's still better than any Plan B or pill out
there.
there.
People are just selfish when it comes to condoms. They're just like, nah, fuck this. You know, it just doesn't feel the same.
If it happens, it happens.
I'm a man, and it just doesn't feel the same. You know, but no, that quote that you said, if it happens, it happens. It's the quote that every 18 to 16 to fucking 23-year-old says, and look at that.
No regrets till after the point.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't fucking say if it happens, it happens. Like, especially nowadays.
Be responsible.
Yeah, be responsible. Buy condoms.
Please.
Stock up on condoms, not on toilet paper. Or both. I don't fucking care. I wanted to ask you something, because obviously with this whole pandemic thing, and the reason why this question popped up, first of all, I'm going to give you the data. I'm going to hit you with some facts here.
All right.
6 million people have now filed for unemployment. Okay, so my question to you is, and I was thinking about this, is I know of a lot of places that are hiring right now. And let's say you need a job, right?
Yeah.
Put your fucking pride aside. You go get a job, bagging or a city market or Kroger or whatever the fuck your local store is, Walmart, I don't care.
Yeah.
You go, you get hired. Now you got more employers working, right? My question is, should you go ahead and do that, or should you? Because the main thing about this whole situation is to keep social distancing.
True.
Limit people being outside, right? So by you putting yourself out there, because you need to make some coin, obviously you gotta make some fucking money. You gotta make some money.
Gotta pay rent. Yeah.
Gotta pay rent. Are you doing a disfavor to society by getting a job, or should you just file for unemployment? What do you think?
I think there's a lot that goes into that decision. First, your age, your health, right? If you're high risk already, there's no sense in
Stay home.
going out there. Yeah, stay home. At the same point, I think if I were in the situation, which luckily at the moment I'm not, I'm still working, it would be really hard for me to, as my voice goes, it's crying. It'd be really hard for me to just stay home because I like to be financially independent and I don't want to be like, yo, mom, dad, yeah, times are tough.
Venmo me that fucking cash, mom. I need it. Sell my Xbox.
Oh, sorry,
Sell
Chandler.
my Xbox from
I was
back
about to
home.
ask you the same thing. Wait, what?
But I do see your point.
Mijo, times are tough. I need cash. Can you send me cash?
Papa?
Motherfucker.
Oh man! But
I don't got no cash.
I see your point that the more people that are out there, you're putting other people at risk, right? Maybe I'm in my 20s. Likely I'll be okay if I'm working.
Right.
But hey, if I'm bagging for a 65-year-old, a 70-year-old, and for some reason I do have the virus and I pass it to her,
yeah,
I would feel horrible.
Then that comes into perspective again, right? Like you're
Yeah.
putting someone into danger.
Right? Or am I prioritizing money or health, right? Or global health, not just my own health.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. Politically standing, long run, the big picture here is that you should probably most likely want to stay home. That's what everybody's pushing. But
Yeah.
you take this into personal matters and actually consider what your needs are. Being
Your
arrogant.
situation, basically.
You're being cocky yourself. You're like, well, I'm going to go fucking work because, I got to get shit done.
Yeah.
I gotta go fucking work.
Dignity, baby.
It ain't much, but it gives it all she's got.
Have you seen
It
that?
ain't much, but it's honest work.
That meme where he gets out of bed and he's like, made it to the couch. And it ain't much, but
yeah. I don't know, man. I want the audience to comment on this. If you guys watch this, what do you guys think? Should we?
It's an ethical question.
Should we fucking drain the system and just hop on that unemployment wagon, or
let's just put this word into this question you put: essential. All right. In order to be home, stay. They're saying at least 2 weeks minimum. A lot of people that's a magic number right now for a lot of people.
14 days,
just
yeah.
close down everything, shut it down for 2 weeks. All right. Now, in order for that to work, you got to stock up. You got to prepare.
yeah,
Okay, so you got to get your essential goods from these essential workers. So therefore, in order to that happen, you need workers to be there. It's like it's a big cycle.
Yeah.
So in order for this to work, people have to work.
yeah. There's just no way around it. We don't have machinery. Like we don't have fucking robots going out there and giving you the fucking.
But you know what? There is one
groceries.
There is one loophole that I just thought of. You could get a job at home. You could work online.
True.
Might not be something you're interested in, right? It could be taking surveys. It could be a product tester.
Anything right now. Anything
But you
to
know
make some
what?
coin.
It is a way to make money.
Yeah, or you could have a premium Snapchat and show your titties. I like literally.
Yeah.
No,
I mean-
this is what's funny about this. This is what's funny about it. On my Snapchat, I'm starting to notice that that whenever you get at least for me, whenever you're getting a friend request from these random people, you accept them, right? Or you don't. But if you accept them, the majority of them are either scammers or are girls that have premium Snapchat, because obviously they're not working. They're trying to get some coin. They're trying to get some coin out of it.
Make more money if there's more possible people at home, more possible views. I
wish
see the perspective.
I wish guys had premiums. Just strip naked.
Hey, you want to see?
Hey guys, if you guys want to see me later on, I'm gonna
see
be
this collarbone, baby.
Yeah, if you want to see this chest hair, link up later on and follow my premium and GoFundMe or whatever the fuck. No,
Yeah.
yeah, but you have to. There is options out there to start working from home if you
There
don't
are.
have any.
You do got to get creative. Yeah.
I know that places like Grubhub and Uber Eats are hiring like crazy right now because of the high demand as well.
Yeah, but you were telling me you had some concerns about some of the drivers.
Yeah, and this is completely aside from COVID. Oh, sorry, I almost said it. From the
CV, yeah.
some from CV. Basically, sometimes I don't know what kind of situation Grubhub goes through or Uber Eats in order to background check their people.
What
basically,
screening process,
What screening
yeah.
process? Yeah, exactly. To flesh out these characters that these people that end up going to your door and giving you your good food every single time you order it. But my concern was that I've been seeing more of them out, right? And I don't mean this like if you work at Grubhub, like I don't mean this as disrespect. This is what I've seen. A lot of people that work on those places aren't very clean. And this is not talking about the epidemic. I'm just talking about the general idea of
Like
delivering
general hygiene.
Yeah, general hygiene, general idea of delivering food. Because I've seen some people getting out of their cars and their cars look messy and dirty, literally dirty. They themselves are not presentable whatsoever when they come to your door.
That would be concerning.
So I do get concerned because a lot of people are doing Grubhub, and obviously with the whole epidemic, like if you get your food from someone that is not being clean enough,
Right. Regardless of
hygienic,
the
like
CV, you mean you could get a different sickness from
exactly
lack of food care.
And where I was going with that, yeah, you're right. I had a friend actually that ordered Grubhub, and I told him that you might have gone because he was like his stomach sick.
Yeah.
So it could have been a lot of things. It could have been a lot of factors. It could have been the food itself,
Right.
or it could have been someone not washing their hands, touching the food of some sort. And
Food
then,
contamination. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it could be the simple fact that Yuri just didn't, take care of himself.
or that, yeah.
It's just Yuri, we could expect something like that. It could have just been the weird coincidence that it happened that day.
Well, whatever it is, I mean,
It's true.
This isn't. I reflected upon this just because of the whole situation that I saw the other day of this person, getting out with the Grubhub, and the person didn't look hygienic, and I don't want to seem judgmental by any means, that's not the point of this conversation. Is, in a way, it is, but the whole thing is how hygienic are these people that are actually delivering your food. And I mean, you could be in danger, potential danger.
Especially now at times, with this stuff going around.
Exactly. Now more than ever, you have to be fucking clean. Like, there's no way you shouldn't be. Like, if you're not washing your hands constantly, like at work, I have to wash my hands every 30 minutes now.
Yep.
And I'm using gloves, I did see that a lot of places started getting shields, like protective shields. Whenever they're interacting with customers, so that there's a barrier in between them and shit.
They have the tape, so each customer is 6 feet away.
6 feet away. Yeah, I almost broke I went to pay my electricity bill because I'm old school. I don't pay online. I just go and fucking pay over the counter.
He writes his check.
I write my check, and I saw everybody like apart, but it didn't hit me, and then I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
What I think is crazy about these mayhem that we're going through is the fact that is how easy it is to start shaping society a certain way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so. I mean, it does take a traumatic event like the one that we're going through right now. Obviously, it's not. You can't just change it that easy. But in reality, like, a fair amount of people are having to follow these orders, right? That the governor or President Trump has set out, and it's so easily like shifted. Like, we're sort of starting to adapt to the whole thing.
Yeah, just today I woke up and it was a weird feeling, just for like maybe 2 seconds. I woke up and I was like, oh shoot, what client do I have to go see today?
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, oh, wait, I don't, right? Because I'm working from home. But it's just the routine you get into every morning, waking up and going. And it was really weird. For a second, I like kind of forgot what was all going on.
Yeah, and imagine once this shit is over, like how fucked up our routine is going to be and to adapt, like if you're if you're at home just chilling, you know, like
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough going back to work whether you like it or
Yeah.
not, because
You have to adjust. Yeah.
it's just, yeah, exactly, you have to adjust. I do want to talk about two things about this whole thing, and we'll move on. The first thing is it's going away.
What are you looking for?
The positive side about having time. The positive side about having time, because a lot of people are honestly, I don't know how many people I see on Snapchat or Instagram like, I'm bored, or on Facebook like, I'm bored. I'm bored. Everybody's fucking bored, right? But I want to focus a little bit on the benefits of actually having some fucking time for yourself. Like, just think about it. How many times are you actually out there and just have time to like process everything in your head and not have to go through this monotonous routine, and actually like think about it and have some sort of retrospect in whatever it is that you're thinking and going through, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like in a way this is great. This is awesome. Like, I having time for myself, having time to think, having time to do things, and finding things about myself, because it just requires you to be more creative. Like, in times like this, I feel like creativity to a certain level has to start going up. You know, we started to see a lot of people jumping into the infamous app TikTok. You know, a lot of people are creating TikToks. Even famous artists are creating TikToks and trying to stay not reliable, trying to stay
proactive in a way.
Relevant. You know, obviously, and it's interesting seeing even artists like having to struggle with this. You know, having to struggle with the whole being bored thing.
A lot of bands are doing the live streams.
Yes, live streams.
A lot of virtual concerts nowadays.
Right. Me and Diego were talking about this, the not virtual raves, but
virtual raves.
DJ set.
Yeah.
I was telling,
I think Marshmello did one the other day.
Dylan Francis has like 2 a week, and I'm like, wow, this is like, right? They have time to work on their music, so yeah. My hope is that there's going to be an influx of new music in October.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, bro. The same thing. Like,
we'll see.
I want artists to get creative with their craft, you know, just as you at home should be getting creative with whatever you have, you know. Get better at something, you know. Make a hobby, you know. Learn how to play fucking guitar. Read more. People fucking don't read, you know. This is the time where you can pick up a book. It doesn't matter what you want. Playboy magazine, like whatever it is that you're into. Start reading. Start getting into things. Listen to things. Watch shows. Cultivate your mind a little bit and sort of explore that side of you.
What I've been getting into is gardening, which I'm horrible at, but I'm learning so much about how not to kill certain plants.
Best.
Well, whatever it is, I mean, you might not have a green thumb right now, but by the end of this whole situation, you might be a fucking beast.
But I do love it every day.
Cultivating bananas and fucking palm trees in the middle of Colorado.
Yeah,
you know?
Especially in this freaking crappy ass spring that we're having. You know, one day it's freaking nice, beautiful,
degrees.
no winds, nothing, just settled, somewhat cloudy, nice day, 75 degrees. You know. 3 hours later, you start getting a little, you know, wind. They'll bring in some clouds, and it's pitch black outside by that time. You know, it's midday right now. And another 3 hours later, it's blowing sideways. It's freaking hailing outside. You know, freaking snowing. Yeah. And then you could wake up to frost, snow, almost like, you know, it's just
it's a reboot cycle, and that's horrible when it comes to trying to stay healthy, trying to stay.
Can be for allergies.
Fucking. Horrible allergies every time it rains, you know. My coworker was telling me, I didn't know this, that every single time it rains, like, I was like, hey, how come, do you know why every single time it rains I wake up and my fucking, like, I feel like I have allergies? And she was like, yeah, because when it rains, it moves the dirt, so all the pollen that basically sat down on the ground, it's removed again, right? So it's basically like, which is weird. It's
kind of like blowing dust, right?
Exactly.
Just getting your leaf blower and just fucking over everything else.
Exactly. And you wake up feeling like shit, right? Like you wake up all
congested,
stuffy, itchy, whatever it is. But also the changing weather, like just having a changing weather constantly, like you go to sleep maybe with a tank top and shorts, right? and then you wake up freezing your ass off because it's fucking cold, and then you get sick again. And now it might not be obviously the virus, but it could be like a flu or something, and now you're more susceptible to it. And not only because all your immune system goes down, you know, shit starts. And I was thinking about this the other day, yesterday actually. I went to bed and I was like, I had sweats, you know, but I just have a regular shirt on. But I woke up fucking freezing, man. I woke up like I didn't have regular PJs, you know, and I got so pissed because I like, oh no, this can't be happening, you know, like I don't want to get sick.
Yeah, this is a battle at our house as well. I mean, my brother, you know, him being a little bigger, you know, he gets a little warmer quicker, easily, you know.
He insulates better.
So he tends to open windows, you know, turn fans on, you know, it's just chaotic,
turn
you
that
know.
shit
It's only 50 degrees, and I'm like, yeah, it's 50 degrees. What the hell?
in the house.
He's over here freaking
These thinner boys are gonna have a hard time.
Our thin blood, you know, it doesn't really last that long out here. So I mean, I was already expecting
Hawaiian,
something
baby.
to come. You know, I was getting cold in the house, and you know, it's just I expected that night to be cold.
I want to talk about a little bit about the do-it-yourself masks that we've been seeing. I don't know if you've been aware of that.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of people that are manufacturing. They're macramating.
Mostly out
masks.
of like fabrics. That's what I've seen.
Yeah. But oh my god, man. I mean, no, I don't want to be disrespectful, but there's some funny shit out there. Like I've seen some funny masks that people are creating. Like the other day, I saw these a lady, and her daughter. They had masks made out of napkins.
Oh man!
So it was basically
like the brown napkin.
No, that would have been hilarious. No, it was like a cleaning napkin.
Okay.
But what was funny about it is that it was a napkin just over the mouth. Like it wasn't fully sealed. It was just like
ventilation.
It was just like literally like a curtain on her mouth.
Gosh.
And it had paper clips attached to it. and 2 strings, you know, which I'm like, people that shit ain't gonna work. Like not even by a little bit. Like that like, shit like that is not gonna
you get
work.
an A for effort, all right? You get an A for effort.
Yeah,
right?
you get an A for trying to be clean, but or
theoretically you're fucked.
Yeah. There wasn't any, like if you have that much ventilation underneath, it defeats the whole purpose of having
I didn't mount my glasses to fog up, so I had to make a hole.
And
they have a hole in the fucking mouth.
And I'm not too sure how reusable that is either.
Yeah, I mean
hey, it's disposable, all right?
Are you gonna make one every day? Yeah.
I don't know, man. I thought it was the funniest thing ever, man. Trying to see these people get creative and
even some of the masks that you're ordering off Amazon aren't rated for this kind of freaking epidemic.
Yeah,
they're just typical masks, like just to keep dust. It's just simple particles, not freaking microscopic, little freaking bacterial shit.
They're not medical grade.
I'm like,
and even some of the medical grade ones, like not every mask is legit. A lot of the masks are. The typical masks that you see are to prevent, like whenever somebody's fucking doing surgery, right, or doing something, it's to prevent the doctor from spitting out onto the patient. They're to prevent shit from coming out of you, right? Which if you have, I mean, at this point it's good to wear them just because nobody wants your saliva on them, or coughing or whatever. So it's good to have those masks in that sense. Now, if you're trying to protect yourself from, I was about to say it again, from the virus, you have to buy a respirator, which is completely different. Respirators are completely sealed.
This is military grade shit right here.
Well, you could get like painters use them. They have some sort of respirator. And they're basic, but they're useful. That's to prevent shit coming in. Because that's what they're for fumes and shit like that, gases. of that sort to come into your body, and so you don't inhale them, right? So that's the shit that you need to buy in order for you to not inhale the horrible thing that's going around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, another thing to add on to this whole thing is gonna throw you off, but I mean, not only people are really focusing on their mouths right now with masks. You know, people should actually be looking into their eye contact. You know, because a lot of people rub eyes. You know, there's a lot of freaking things. Your eye are exposed to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Not only that, but I mean, your clothing you wear, this virus attaches up to pretty quick. I mean, that's how it's so contagious, you know.
Yeah. It's heavier. They say that it's heavier, so it falls to the ground.
Yeah, they say
it falls on your clothes and it stays alive. Yeah.
Clothing, it attaches, even though you not may make contact to the thing itself. It's very, you know how it lingers around your shoes, everything. So I mean, there's forums going on. I heard this from Annette from California. She called me making sure I was all right, you know, like, hey, how's it going?
That's good.
She's like, our company where she works is making us have a new pair of shoes every day because you're walking the same shoes. I mean,
like buy a new pair of shoes or just switch out shoes?
Switch out shoes, leave them outside your door for 2 days, you know, just try to get them, you know, a little more sanitized for the next day to be prepared because you're just carrying around the same
But I only got 2 pairs of shoes.
Chan, you need to invest in your locker.
I can't go anywhere to get. I guess online.
Yeah, online.
Good luck.
Which we have shit going on online too with the whole Amazon ordeal that happened.
Yeah.
People standing outside of Amazon protesting.
That was in New York. Yeah, they were striking because I believe a few people tested positive in one of their warehouses. And essentially they were saying that they wanted Amazon to shut down for a couple days and completely sanitize it. And then when that didn't happen, I think it was this past Monday, they walked out. And, you know, I don't blame them because...
No, that's just liability on
right.
Amazon's end.
Again, are you going to put profits over health? I don't know. And Amazon is making so much money. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean there are billions.
Now more than ever because, you know, everybody's home ordering crap. I heard that they have quite a backflow right now of orders.
Yeah.
Like overflow. Like they had to hire quite a bit of people. Like there's hundreds of thousands.
They're probably looking for people.
Positions.
Which also defeats the purpose. Are having more people in these facilities, is that better, or should you just not work?
Yeah.
I mean, I assume OSHA. I mean, I was just saying because I mean, I just got certified not too long ago. I got an OSHA 10 card.
Opa. Congrats.
I went through the course and everything, but OSHA, I'm pretty sure they have a big freaking like grasp on what they can do, or Amazon has a hold of right now. Because I mean, there's limits to how much people, if they deem the location or whatever the place is unsafe or not sanitized,
unsafe,
you know, especially for the workers. That's who they're there for, the workers, not for the company. For the workers, they could shut down Amazon. Corporate, right? Just corporate.
Yeah, it's kind of like a health inspection.
Not only them, but other places as well, you know, because there's, you know, I've heard of some restaurants still having dine-ins, you know. It's breaking the rules.
So what are you guys doing at Coke, Diego?
At Coke, I mean...
Any precautions?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we are supposed to be doing. And there's a lot of stuff.
You must fucking follow protocol.
He's like, I don't want to be fired. I can't say shit.
I mean, we're doing the best, honestly, because I mean, there's still, like I said, people still want our product, so we gotta go deliver product. I mean, there's still movement no matter what.
Okay, I was just curious.
And then us being a small distribution plant, I mean, if we get it, I mean, we're fucked.
Yeah,
you guys are shut down.
Not just you, a lot of everybody that you guys deliver to.
That's what I'm saying. It's just that's the main problem of this freaking epidemic is that how contagious this thing is. I mean,
very, very.
It just starts. It's a big chain, and it's just a domino effect from there on out. You know.
It also lets you see how unprepared the U.S. was for an event like this.
Yeah, but I mean, like going back to our last episode, we were just it's all shits and giggles for freaking China. You know, we're freaking laughing at them. You know, like hey, keep it to yourself, and then shit hit the fan, and it actually went around the room, and now we're fucked. You know.
Yeah, now we're dealing the fucking ugliest girl to dance with.
We have the most cases. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're freaking turning the plate over and saying.
I think we are at a little above 1,000 cases in the whole U.S.
I'm pretty sure we're over that.
Yeah. Well, they say that.
No, more than 1,000, dude.
Yeah.
Like 100,000.
Well, no. I don't think it's 100,000. I think they're estimating.
I'm curious.
They're estimating that the cases will reach.
The estimation. Okay.
The estimation is going to be that high.
All right.
I mean,
keep
that's just for tested people as well. I mean, just imagine the people that can't be tested, the people in the rural world, that don't have access to, that kind of technology yet.
But do you think they would also like be contagious if they're segregated? If they're not segregated, but in a way just like away, like in the mountains? Do you think a person in the mountains could contract the virus that easy?
I mean,
that's also something that how it would work is essentially is one of the persons in the village would go out. I'm talking like it's like 1800 fucking Europe. But one of the persons in the fucking town or the village would go out to get the good old legumes and the beans and the vegetables to the store or the main city, right? Something would be contaminated there. Would bring it back in and then give it to their,
like I said, this
household.
This freaking thing is so
275. Wow.
Okay, so what the fuck? Okay, so there were more than 275,000 confirmed.
275,000. Oh
confirmed.
My gosh.
I mean, there's still people that are tested,
that's
still waiting for results.
Yeah, that's not deaths or anything. That's just overall active cases that are positive.
Like I said, this going back to what you were saying. I mean, this thing is airborne as well, so you don't need to make contact to get it.
And then number 1 on the list is New York. New York is the one that has gone hit the hardest with this whole fucking situation, and obviously because of the high flow of people it's
an international hub.
Yeah, from the ports to the flights, just everywhere. It's business culture there. People go in out like no other.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Florida here, and you know what the funny thing is? I found out today that the Florida governor literally found out about. This is what he said.
Yeah.
Because they just started closing down the state as a state. Like, how every other state has already started. Colorado took good for the Colorado governor taking a jump on that very quickly. But Florida just started shutting down shit, bro.
Really?
And this is what when they asked the Florida governor why it took him so long, he said, I was not aware that this was a thing.
Like he didn't take it seriously, or
he said he didn't know about it.
He's trying to say BS.
It's bullshit. Yeah, that shit's fucking overwhelming everything. Like, but
interesting.
You never know what's behind closed door. I don't want to say that he was in cahoots with anyone.
Either he wasn't prepared enough to freaking close down immediately as soon as he freaking saw this epidemic going on.
Mm-hmm.
And he just needed some time to get some crap together, let people, roam around while things, he had to have this settle in slowly, not at all at one point.
Well, the thing is that it's because of that you get more people in contagion, right? Like you get more people that are extracting the virus because of that, because of the delay. I was reading something, and not to sound conspiracal, right? If that's the word, conspiracal sounds weird.
For a second,
conspicuous.
But there was a person in the health department for the U.S. that got an email, I believe, from the China. Was it CDC?
Yeah. Center for Disease Control. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Chinese had the person in charge over there for the CDC. Sending him emails, straight up sending him emails and saying, hey, what's happening over here in China is fucking terrifying, it's horrible. And that email got sent to one of the main persons in the health department over at the U.S. And guess when that email was sent on New Year's. This situation was known to the U.S., and this is why there's controversy on President Trump, on the higher ups in the U.S. because we knew about this since New Year's, and it was just dismissed. I'm not gonna say, I don't want to get too political, but this is some of the things that I found out doing the research. Trump cut a huge budget cut for medical supplies towards the beginning of the year. they were requesting, I believe, like 2 billion or something like that.
Yeah.
He cut it for about 75%. So he basically said, no, we don't need this.
Significantly.
75%. 75%, you know, and because of that, now we don't have enough product. Now we don't have, we have companies, you know,
now we're scrambling.
under stock, scrambling, literally. People fucking having to confectionate.
Claim bankruptcy.
Yeah. Having to create medical products. And so he knew, President Trump knew, and then just barely I saw him, I saw one of those conferences that he always does on Facebook, and it just barely seemed like he's grasping a reason, you know, of the danger and the intensity of the problem, you know. And like I said, you know, Trump is Trump, it doesn't matter, but it's just sad to see that kind of situation, you know, where our president just dismissed this, and now he's starting to see that after the deaths, you know, which is the important thing, like the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people just
starting to pile up.
It started to pile up, and imagine being the person in charge that could have avoided that, like President Putin, or I don't know, what is he, president?
I don't know.
I don't know if he's a president. I don't even know, but
we'll go with that.
President Putin in Russia, as soon as he fucking heard about that, he no more.
He took a very strict approach.
Shut down the frontiers, the borders, you know, the borders. Like,
yep.
No one comes in, no one goes out. We all enjoyed vodka. He just fucking shut the whole thing down, and nobody can come in and out. Now Russia is on one of the countries with
the least.
Yeah, with least problems in that circumstance, you know. And then you have people in fucking crazy places, I don't want to say names, killing people that have the fucking virus.
That's horrible.
And then in India, if they see you out and about, they'll fucking break a stick. They'll whack you. They'll break a stick on your back too.
I was like, what?
Yeah, meanwhile, Italy's, you know, they're partying up over there, dude. They're in quarantine. They're freaking give a crap.
I mean, once they've been in quarantine longer than us. I mean, at some point you have to say, you know what? Hey, fuck, I'm gonna yell out the window. Like, I need to fucking, because they're over there is completely shut down. Like,
where are we talking about? Sorry. Italy.
Italy,
okay,
yes.
I assumed
Italy, and how they're having because in Italy, the way the infrastructure is in a lot of places is they have apartment buildings that are stacked on top of each other. There's thousands of people that live on those apartments across, and you don't just have one. You have like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it's community.
It's a close community, European style. Yeah, it's the hood, right? And they're throwing raves, you know.
It's going viral, dude. These guys are just going down, and everybody's jumping in. You see people dancing off their porches, you know, lights going, music still bumping. You know, people are just trying to enjoy themselves while they're freaking incarcerated, you could say.
Yeah, I think in Spain, actually, the police is actually serenading people. Just fucking, so they're walking, and if they see the people are staying indoors, what they're doing is going to houses, and then if they request a song, they'll play it live.
Wow.
Like they're musicians, a lot of them. So
interesting.
They're just doing that in Spain. So a lot of positive things too on this side, you know. I know that
just keeping the hopes up, you know, keeping that.
Staying positive is the thing, and taking care of yourself. Because if you take care of yourself, you're taking care of your neighbor. You're taking care of everybody else, you know.
That's true.
Chandler, is there anything else that you want to add? We're kind of running short on time here. We're in minute 55.
No, we're good. We can move on.
Well, how about you, Deegan? Do you have anything?
I think we've covered quite a bit. There's still, you know, like I said, we could go on forever, but those are some main.
Yeah, those for episode 16. That's what we sort of had in mind. Just talk about a little bit of the whole situation. It's hard to dismiss it, you know. And if you guys are getting your news from somewhere, you know, make sure that you guys are getting informed and getting, you know, from somewhat reliable sources.
But also don't just flood yourself all day with news report from here, news report from there.
Yeah.
Don't incite panic in yourself. You know, get a source you like, one or two, and
honestly, I mean, sorry, but that's what actually started this whole freaking freaking pandemic, you could say, is media, because all of a sudden it just burst and then everything went crazy. You know, stores went freaking.
I mean, that's why we're talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just don't really believe everything that you're told at once. You know, wait for it to kick in. I say. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing to do, but I mean, just.
Well, what you want to do also, it's take a break from the media. You know, especially if you're indoors.
Don't flood yourself all day with that.
Don't flood yourself with that shit. Like, look at something else. Read. Like I said, try to express yourself. Create something.
I mean, if you're religious, spiritual, take time.
Break that cycle. You know.
If you aren't spiritual, it's time to get spiritual. You know, if you want to believe in something, if you don't know what's out there,
or become more self-aware, right?
Yeah, more self-aware. You have access to weed. You have access to alcohol.
Those are still essential, aren't they?
Yeah, it's apparently. I don't know how alcohol is essential. Well, I guess I do know in a way.
How is it? What's your opinion? Real quick.
Well, what I'm thinking is that there's a lot of people that are. There's two things. I have two theories. They might be fucked up, but there's two theories that I have.
That's what alcohol does.
Number one. Cheers.
All fucked up.
My number one theory is the government needs a way to keep things sort of mellowed out. Now, alcohol in excessive matters, you know, you could do some crazy shit at home.
Very dangerous, yeah.
But if you're just socially drinking inside the premise of your own house, you're more likely to stay calm, composed, you know. And
I think that's a way to, you know, how do you say?
Like numb the situation a little bit for people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And my second one is that there's a high level of people that are alcoholics.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, without their alcohol, they might throw down and
could you imagine
and riot? Yeah,
it might not look
the
pretty.
repercussions of that could be not only in danger to themselves but others. That's true.
And so basically, what you want is, because the minute you start taking alcohol away from the people that are dependent on it, you start needing
relapse instantly.
You need hospital assistance, and right now they're focusing the hospitals on the virus. They don't want people, like, if you don't need to go to the hospital, don't go to the hospital.
That's true.
So that's my second theory. That's where I'm coming from on that one. That's the reason why alcohol is still a relevant thing.
Yeah.
Or essential, like they like to call it.
And then weed is medicinal, so I get that one.
Yeah.
That's all that's state tax though, right there.
Oh yeah, money.
Oh, there's also money. Yes, yeah. All that shit, like cigarettes, weed, alcohol. Those things are highly taxed. Doesn't matter where you are. So, it's a profit. I mean, it's and people, believe it or not, people are gonna fucking get it. It doesn't matter if they're broke. Like, I've seen broke people buy cigarettes before buying a fucking burger.
That's in budget right there, you know. There's always room for those. Yeah,
honestly. Do you have a bop for the week, Chen? With what's your bop?
I do.
What's your bop? I want to. Because a lot of you know what's funny. A lot of people ask for shows to watch on Snapchat and also new music to ask. So this is a perfect time for that.
It's an older song. You definitely know it. But I've been listening to it a lot. It's called Amárame by Juanes. And
how do you spell for those English speakers?
If I can spell it myself. Amar, Amarrame. Means like love oneself.
Amarme, yes, amarme, to love myself, right? Yes.
It's by Juanes and Mon. I can never say her last name right. Lafayette or something.
We'll put it. I'll put it on the
description.
Yeah.
How about you, Deegan? Do you have anything?
Oh man, I was going hard at work today, dude.
Skrillex.
I was listening to dubstep.
I was going to hardstyle.
Yeah,
you know, I was just I was in that mood, you know. I was just freaking rhyming it out.
Hit us, Tiesto.
I got two.
Oh yeah, well say them. Yeah,
all people. Right, so I got 1 million by Tujamo. So TU.
1 million? Is that what it's called?
1 million is called by Tujamo.
Tujamo, okay.
And then Earthquake by Borgor.
Oh, that song's good.
Yes. That song smacks.
Like I said, it's just I was upbeat today.
All right.
I only have one, and I showed it to you guys because I've been obsessed. I don't know. I just like this song because of the vibe that it gives me. Also, if you guys haven't listened to Bad Bunny's album, go fucking take a listen to that. It's It's
Yeah,
it's
is
great.
that your vibe?
It's my vibe right now. But the song that I wanted to introduce you guys to is by Mard Fustang. It's like Ford Mustang, but the first letters are reversed. So it's
Interesting.
like Mord Fustang, and it's spelled Gaia, Gaia or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look it up and put it on the description. Any social media? Where can we find good old Chan? Go follow Chan, goddammit.
Nah, it's okay. You don't have to. It's Instagram. Chan's Jams. CHANZ and then JAMZ.
How about you, Deegan?
You get me on Instagram and Snapchat
Watch out.
by typing in Ochoa Digo 45.
We want to be friends with you guys, so add us on fucking whatever platform you guys want to use.
Aloha.
We post them on the show. And me, you can find me at DerekMayo92 on Instagram. Pretty soon, I want to say that we're gonna create a Eggboys page for Instagram. We have it on Facebook, but we want to create one for Instagram. So
That'd be fun.
Yeah, just so that we can put like snippets and pictures and whatnot.
Our daily conversations, you know, just what we are out of this, because we are the Eggboys. I mean, no matter in show or out of show, we're still the Eggboys. I mean,
we're the Eggboys. We're the Eggboys. That's correct, Deegan. And you can find me on Snapchat at DMay92. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for sticking with us. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe. Stay home if you guys can.
Stay healthy, please.
Wash your fucking hands and, don't fucking be hooking up with just about anybody out there.
No.
Yep. Remember, 6 feet.
6 feet apart, even though we're sort of breaking the rules. We're sacrificing for you.
We got you.
The Eggboys got you. With that being said, embrace your weird and see ya next time.